What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? So today's video is not really, I'm not really going to give any advice. It is kind of a story, but it's more of a question to the viewers and for anyone that feels open enough to, I guess, comment down below and let me know their thoughts or opinions or just their personal stories, I guess, because I'm kind of asking a question, I guess. So I'm just going to give a brief overview of where I think this stems from, and then I'll tell you the story, and then please just let me know if you've had a similar experience or if you're going through something like this as well. So essentially, to sum it up, my parents divorced a couple of years ago, and their relationship was very toxic. My father was abusive, physically, emotionally, mentally, in every aspect. He was, to be quite honest, a horrible father. He cheated on my mom countless of times. He beat me horribly at a really young age, maybe at like 7, 6. And growing up, it wasn't the most ideal. And I'm glad that they divorced. It is challenging, of course, not having two parents in your life, especially because of just the economy, especially here in Canada. I think the living conditions are just kind of terrible. Everything is just becoming more expensive. And I kind of was able to reflect on that quite a bit when I was in Europe during the summer, where the cost of living is definitely much better. Food is better. Everything is better, if I'm being honest. I'm not the biggest fan of Canada, and if anything, I'm kind of upset that I was brought here and I don't really, well, not that I don't have a chance to move back because I do plan on moving back, but it kind of feels like I moved here with my parents, and then that's when my father decided to leave us, which I'm not the most fond of. But that's aside. Essentially, I feel like a lot of the time growing up, and even now, I do wish I had a family. And before anyone says yes, I know that I'm blessed enough to even had two parents to begin with for most of my teenage years. And, regardless of how negative or bad it was, I still have a loving mother and mother. I don't know why I said it so weird, but I have a great mother. She's genuinely the best and she cares for me. She loves me. She does everything in her power that she can. And I'm more than blessed and grateful for that. But obviously, in a perfect world, I always imagined that I would have two parents, two loving parents. They never argue, or at least not to this extent. And I kind of wanted a little brother, even a little sister. Didn't really matter to me, just a sibling growing up. So when parents weren't around, I had someone to talk to just be with, so I wouldn't feel lonely. And sometimes when I'm outside or when I watch movies, even, I get kind of reminded of not having two parents, or, in my perfect scenario, having, a brother too. And, a lot of people sometimes wish for this and that, but if there was anything I could have wished for growing up, it would have been to have a perfect family. I don't really want to get emotional. I feel like I'm about to tear up, but I would do anything to have, you know, a healthy relationship between my parents and them having a healthy relationship, even if they decided to divorce, I guess, as long as it was still healthy and they cared for each other. And, ideally that wouldn't happen, but I'd have a brother or sister. I'm just yapping, but you get the point. A lot of times when I watch movies or I'm outside and I see other people having that, it makes me honestly tear up. So basically, this happened yesterday, and I was going to the park to play basketball. And I was waiting for my friend, and he was kind of late, like 30 minutes late. So I don't know what he was doing. Like, come on, man. But I was essentially just sitting at the park, and I wasn't trying to be on my phone too much just because, my battery was low and there was just no point. It doesn't really bring me much benefit. So I just looked around. There's a lot of kids playing and yada yada. And there's this one family that caught my attention. And it was a little kid with his mom and grandfather. And I know that's not exactly, two parents, but I remember I started just focusing on them. And I just saw, all the nice gestures, the mom was doing and the grandpa, they were doing hide and seek. And, it was grandpa's turn to look for them. And he obviously knew where they were, but he looked the other direction, which obviously makes a kid feel good because he thinks to his mom, oh, we have such a good hiding spot. Or they started playing soccer and the mom's not trying to take the ball from the kid, obviously, because I mean, if she wanted, she could, but she's just letting him run through and score a goal. It was just, it's not that I didn't have that growing up. I definitely did. It's just that I don't remember any of it really. I feel like I've heard people say this before. I don't know. It's probably true. I'm not entirely sure. I never researched about it, but I know that it probably is a thing. But a lot of your childhood does kind of get blocked if it was traumatic. So a lot of the time, I don't remember the worst things my father did to me. I don't really remember the abuse he put me through. I don't remember him hitting me, really. And I think that's because it's being blocked out. And I'm kind of grateful for that. But at the same time, I feel like that also has to do with normal experiences when I was a kid being blocked out. I don't remember much from my childhood. And I feel like most of the things I do remember from my childhood still are kind of sad. I still remember all the screaming he did and all the things he broke around us. I remember being scared about coming home with an injury because I know he would beat me up, and he did. But the point is, I saw this kid with his mom and grandpa, and it just made me cry. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna just be honest. It just teared me, and I just wish I was a kid again. I just wish I could have had. Obviously, I had a mother, but I just wish I had a father figure there as well. Just play with me, care for me, and just just put some attention towards me. Because I feel like growing up, he was never there for me. And obviously after the divorce, he tries to stay in contact, and um, it's just bullshit. If I'm being honest, it's just, how have you been? And then I respond, and then the conversation ends. The next thing you know, it's just fake. And he's made false promises. I mean, I remember he told me that he'd invite me to visit him in a very beautiful country. And I was honestly, despite our relationship, I would have been glad to go to the country because the country was beautiful. And he just lied. Like, it never happened. It's like false promises. I just don't get it. Like, for my birthday, I remember he got me like chocolates. He sent chocolates abroad. It's like, what type of shit gift is that? Like, I don't want to sound ungrateful or anything, but it's just, I don't know. Essentially, what I made this video is, does anyone have similar experiences where they see something that reminds them of maybe their childhood, or maybe an ex relationship, or anything really, and does it make them tear up? Is that normal? I obviously probably could search this up, yada yada, but I'm just wondering if anyone's brave enough. You don't have to, don't force yourself. But if anyone's comfortable enough to comment, if they've had anything similar or any experience they've gone through, it'd be much appreciated. I would love to hear your story or your experiences. And essentially, I'm just asking, is it normal to cry, I guess? I don't know. Sometimes it feels very pathetic, and I don't want to, what if the kid sees me crying and just wonders, why is he looking at me and crying? But it's just also so beautiful to see, and it makes me happy because some people don't have that. And I know I was blessed enough to even have a loving mom throughout my whole life. I know some people never had either. But, you know, if we all had, the perfect world, the perfect thing, that's all I would have asked for. I would never ask for the most beautiful wife, the most beautiful car, the most beautiful job. I mean, those things would be nice too, but if I could only have granted one wish from the genie, I would have wanted a loving family, a stable, loving family with a little sibling. Well, that's enough for being emotional. As I said, if anyone has anything similar to that, comment down below if you feel comfortable enough. If not, I guess thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I just wanted to, I guess, express myself. I feel like it helps a lot just telling my story, and it really does help because as I noticed maybe in the 6 minute mark or so, I kind of felt better that I'm telling someone about it. Obviously, I talk to my mom or, some of my friends, but I just feel pathetic sometimes too. And I feel like that might be the same case here, but no, this doesn't get much views, so I don't feel like I'm getting judged. If this was to get 1 million views, then maybe I'd feel judged, but I don't think that's the case. So it's a little different, right? Just basically me talking to myself. Peace.